I mean, it was clear to me that the administration at Columbia and most members of the faculty believed passionately in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to herd Jews. That's what I saw. Isn't that what you saw?
I saw.
Now, Governor Walz says, I knew nothing about this, man. It's news to me. And he said, in fact, I'm taking some bold steps. He said, at first, I'm not going to run for a third term. I guess he needs more time. Hope he uses the time to prepare his defense, because he's got a lot to defend here. He knew what was going on.
All right, you just saw that clip, and if that didn't get your attention, the full exchange definitely will. What unfolded in that hearing room was classic John Kennedy, sharp, direct, and unapologetically blunt. The Louisiana senator has built a reputation for cutting through political jargon with plain-spoken questions, and this time was no different. The discussion centered on unrest on college campuses and whether federal funding plays a role in addressing extremism and discrimination. Some witnesses argued that underfunded institutions contribute to instability. But John Kennedy wasn't convinced. He challenged the premise head-on, questioning whether taxpayer dollars are truly the solution to deeply rooted ideological problems. He also referenced progressive lawmakers, including Ilhan Omar, suggesting that certain political leaders are more focused on narrative battles than on confronting uncomfortable realities. His argument was simple: throwing money at a problem without addressing underlying accountability doesn't fix anything. And whether you agree with him or not, he made it clear he wasn't going to let the issue go unchallenged.
Ms. Solomon, I want to be sure I understand your testimony. Did I understand you to testify that anti-Semitism is worse under the Trump administration?
Senator, thank you for your question.
You don't have to thank me. Okay. Your best thanks is to answer.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you that anti-Semitism has been rising, especially since the 2017
but has the Trump administration caused that? Is that your testimony?
I wouldn't say the Trump administration has caused anti-Semitism. Has there been an increase since Trump has entered office? Yes.
Do you see a causal connection there?
Yes.
Why?
Trump has highlighted and platformed neo-Nazis and white supremacists.
Okay. I can't see that far. I understood you to say that in answer to Senator Durbin's question, the spending reductions, reducing the federal budget would increase anti-Semitism. Isn't that what you said?
No, I did not. I said that the constant threats to cut money to the Office for Civil Rights and the Department of Education prevents the federal government from adequately investigating anti-Semitism and other hate crimes on college campuses.
So you think one way to stop anti-Semitism is to give people more money? Is that right?
I think one of the ways is to actually fund people that are actually designed to investigate anti-Semitism on college campuses.
What's there to investigate? We see it.
We
saw it. Did you watch television? Did you see what happened at Columbia?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it was clear to me that the administration at Columbia and most members of the faculty believed passionately in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to herd Jews. That's what I saw. Isn't that what you saw?
I saw.
Isn't that what you saw?
I saw protesters against the war in Gaza and them using some anti-Semitic slogans and thoughts. I would say, however, that it's hard. I would say,
isn't that
however,
what you're telling me? That's not what you saw. Now, don't get off the subject on me now. You're telling me that's not what you saw.
I'm telling you that it is difficult for the federal government to adequately address the issue of anti-Semitism.
Are you telling me the Columbia administration and the faculty was supportive of the Jewish community?
I think that they are trying to
You need to stop dipping into your ketamine stash.
Into what? Excuse me?
Now, if we're going to solve this problem, we need to talk about it. And it wasn't just at Columbia. It was at Berkeley. It was at UCLA. It was at Barnard. And Columbia has a history of discriminating against the Jewish people. They used to refuse to let Jewish students come to their university. Now, you can try to bubble wrap this, but that's what I saw. If you want to stop a lot of the anti-Semitism, maybe we need to stop teaching kids to be anti-Semitic.
Sir, I would relish that opportunity.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Kohab. Did I say that right?
Kohav.
Do you think it's possible to feel compassion for the Palestinian people without hating Jews?
Absolutely.
In fact, one of the lawyers representing one of the thieves in this case said many of the people, this was their excuse, said many of the people involved in the stealing thought that the state was okay with it. That's what he said. Here's his quote. No one was doing anything about the red flags. Red flags were everywhere. Nobody in state government, he said, was doing anything about the red flags. It was like someone was stealing money from the cookie jar and they kept refilling it. The state knew. And at one point, Governor Walz and some of his agencies said, whoa, maybe we ought to put a stop to this. And they backed off. They said no more money for a while. Well, fresh hell broke loose. You know what happened? The largest, most powerful, fictitious company, run mostly by people of Somali ancestry, sent an email to the Minnesota state government. And they said that the state agency that was failing to promptly approve new applications and give us new money from, quote, minority-owned businesses, close quote, it was going to result in a lawsuit featuring accusations of racism that would be sprawled across the news. If you don't give us our money, we're going to call you racist. They did it. It's all come out in evidence at trial. In fact, a lady by the name of Kesa Megan, she's one of the good guys. She is a Somali American who used to work as a fraud investigator in the Attorney General's office, who, by the way, was just as involved as Governor Walz in turning a blind eye to all this. She says, and she said it in the newspaper, she said that elected officials, and particularly those who are part of the state's Democratic-led administration, were reluctant to take more assertive action in response to the allegations. Why? Here's her quote. There is a perception that forcefully tackling this issue might cause political backlash from the Somali community, which is a core voting bloc for Democrats. And she is among the few among many prominent figures in the Somali community who is speaking out against.
Then came the moment everyone's talking about, the now viral ketamine remark. It was vintage John Kennedy, sarcastic, provocative, and guaranteed to dominate headlines. But beyond the humor was a serious point about responsibility in higher education. During the exchange, a university professor suggested that rising antisemitism on campuses could be tied to funding limitations. John Kennedy pushed back, arguing that moral failures and ideological extremism cannot simply be explained away by budget concerns. He questioned whether institutions are taking accountability for the environment they help shape. The conversation also expanded to broader oversight concerns, including issues in Minnesota involving Governor Tim Walz and fraud investigations connected to pandemic-era programs. Critics argue political leaders sometimes hesitate to aggressively pursue misconduct when it intersects with sensitive community dynamics. Supporters of those leaders say the issues are more complex than portrayed. The deeper divide here isn't just about funding. It's about priorities. Are institutions protecting free expression and safety equally for all students? Or are policies being applied unevenly depending on political narratives? Incidents at campuses like Columbia University and UCLA have intensified that debate nationwide. In the end, John Kennedy positioned himself as a voice for voters who feel frustrated with bureaucratic explanations and ideological framing. His supporters see him as cutting through spin. His critics see him as oversimplifying complicated issues. Either way, the exchange captured a broader cultural and political clash playing out across the country. What did you think of the hearing? Did John Kennedy's comments go too far, or were they a necessary reality check? Share your thoughts below. And if you want more breakdowns of major hearings and political showdowns like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.